5:19. Nom nom. Yeah, he's fucking hungry as shit. Lost a lot of blood last night.
朝からすごい食欲ね。
I mean, it makes sense considering he was drained in 2 ways. Yeah, I'm really hungry. Yeah, that's what he said. Oh, right. Can we have liver for dinner?
レバー？別にいいけど。
朝飯を食べながら晩飯の話をするなんて本当にすごい食欲だな。
Phew, I'm stuffed. He needs to replenish his red blood cells, you know. I felt so heavy and drained yesterday, but after a good night's rest, I was back to normal. I wonder if Lucy's back. If she was, she would surely come to see me right away. I knew that in my heart, but I needed to see with my own eyes to put my mind at ease. And so I made my way to her house, but sure enough, no one was home. I hope she hurried back. You mean hurries back? It had only been about 12 hours since she left, but I was already dying to see her. I wanted to see her face, hear her voice, touch her skin. Ah, fuck. And stroke her hair. I could feel the urge welling up inside me. This is what it means to fall for someone. Lacey was the first girl I ever felt like I loved. And the sensation of wanting to see someone was a first for me as well. That was undoubtedly a powerful emotion. I sighed as I trudged back to my room. Afterwards, I was back at her door checking every 30 minutes. Still not back. Dang, not yet. The repeated letdowns were making me hungry. Early afternoon came, and I headed to the Honeydew for lunch. Wow, you're all here. Hi.
こんにちは。こんにちは。どうもです。いらっしゃいませ。
Hey, can I get a double of today's set?
マスター、今日のセット大盛りでお願いします。
はいよ。
今日はそんなにお腹が空いてるんですか？
Yeah, I gave some blood. There were other customers, so I tried to say something normal. No.
お熱いようで。よりちゃん、おでこのあたりに怒っているような影が浮かんでるけど。あら、ルーチェはまだ帰らないですか？
No, she's still gone.
ただ、考えようによってはそれだけ粘り強く交渉しているということですからね。あの一本気なルーチェが。
Yeah. Yorihime tried to reassure me after I sighed.
最初は二言で切り上げるでしたからね。
I respected Lucy for being so diligent about it.
あのおっちゃん、ルーチェにべったりだもんな。うちのばあちゃんもちょっと呆れていたけど。
Karen spoke through a mouthful of sweets. That guy made such a scary impression the first time I met him.
でも、ユータさんのギフになる人ですものね。うまくやっていくようにしませんと。
Oh, right. That guy, my father-in-law. It was the truth, but still hard to imagine.
お待たせしました。
Thanks. The series subject wasn't impeding my hunger.
うわー、うまそう。
It's not for you.
かりんちゃん、今食事を済ませたばかりですが、今食べてるの 食後のデザートなのに。
Yu-chan made her way over to us when she got a break.
やっぱりルーチェとドーラがいないと寂しくなっちゃうね。はい。かりんちゃんも寂しいでしょ？別に。
Karen was obviously pretending. She quickly averted her eyes.
おかわり。次は白玉。まだ食べるの？ルーチェはリーダーシップがあるです。ドーラは賑やかです。なので、その二人が消えると、火が消えたというか、線が抜けたような、そんな感じはあるです。
Yeah, it does.
リーダー？ルーチェが？じゃあ、私は何さ？かりんは、鉄砲玉。
Hey now.
なんだよ、それ。槍姫は参謀。ユリは、ムードメーカーというか、空気を暖かくしてくれる人です。
I don't think I agree with that.
そして私は、不思議キャラ。
That one's true. What a thing to decide for yourself.
ふふふ、です。
But the five of them had been a cohesive unit since childhood. Remove one, my feelings aside, and things did get lonely. I want her back. I hung my shoulders in sadness when I chomped on my food. I did the same after lunch, and went to Lucy's place every 30 minutes. And night soon fell. This is weird. Why? Why isn't she back? This is weird. I wasn't one to talk to myself, but I was doing just that. The vacant house sat silently in the dark. She said she'd be back by tomorrow night, at the latest. That was just last night. The clock showed that it was nearing midnight. What the heck's going on? I walked down the stairs with a heavy heart. I turned around to get a quick glimpse, and of course, the house remained as silent as before. What? I knew it was late and a last-minute request, but I had the others come to my room. Why isn't she back yet? Did Yuna have to be here? She isn't like the other girls. Everyone was just as lost as I was.
確かに変ですね。学校の食堂でもルーチェは言っていました。日曜の夜には帰ってくると。
Yeah, I know.
ルーチェは一度こうと決めたことはまず覆さないので、妙です。やっぱりお父さんに相当言われてるのかな。ただ、だからといってこちらに返さないというのも。そうだね。1ヶ月半ぶりの帰省なんだし、友達と会っているとかは？友達って私たちくらいしかいないよ。
Yeah, she doesn't have friends.
そっか。
Can we not go check on her? It sounded like an easy solution to me, but they all shook their heads.
私たちにとっても別の世界に行くのは困難が伴うのです。それで年に一度の機会を作って集まっているようなものでして。
I see. I shouldn't have taken things so lightly.
こうして人間界に来られたのも、ちぎりを交わしたユータさんが東大の役割を果たしてくれたからです。元の世界に戻るのは簡単ですが。
Maybe she's ill or something.
体調？
I told them about how she didn't seem 100% when she left.
ではそのせいでしょうか。 帰るに帰れなくなっているということはあるのかもしれませんね。
Really? It could be, yeah. It didn't merit a happy reaction, but I tried to convince myself that was the full extent of the problem. It was the most likely situation, considering we were in the dark about the situation. The situation.
おっちゃん、過保護だし、良くなってもなかなか返そうとしないんじゃない？
True. Yeah, that's true. That would have to do for that would have to do for now. Well, at any rate, she'll return tomorrow. She didn't seem that bad. I was muttering to myself, and they all watched over me with concern. I was so thankful to have friends to worry for me. Sorry, everyone, for calling you over so late. I put an end to our impromptu meeting. I went to check again before bed, but nothing had changed. Can't sleep. I was tossing and turning in bed. She just had a slight cold or something. Her overprotective dad was overreacting and not letting her return just yet.
今日一日だけは泊まっていきなさい。ね、ルチ。
Seriously, that was all. I was trying my best to convince myself, but it didn't help me. It didn't help me sleep. Yeah, he's so paranoid. He's even hallucinating his dad. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if his dad and her dad shared the same voice actor of 520. Morning. Oh, well. Who knows? Here's the thing, right? It is very obvious that there are only a few NPCs. I say NPCs, they're all non-playable characters. There are a few characters without sprites that are so unimportant that they don't have a voice. The only exceptions... Yeah, the only exceptions are like Yuta's dad, Yuta's mum, and Greaseball, or whatever the fuck his name was, in Yuna's route. And I can't think of any other. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Lucy's dad shared a voice actor with any of those characters, right?
あらら、どうしたのその目。
なんだ？こすりすぎたのか？もしやトラコマか？
No, nothing like that. I just couldn't really sleep. Not at all, actually. I hadn't looked in a mirror yet, but based on their reactions, my eyes were probably bloodshot.
あら、どうして？あんたが珍しいわね。
Yeah, I'm worried because Lucy hasn't returned.
帰省でもしたの？
Yeah. I hadn't told my parents anything, really. I knew I should explain it, but I was so groggy, I just mumbled an affirmation. Suffering from sleep deprivation, even a little bit of exercise exhausted me. Yeah. The more you know, I guess. After officially falling for her, there was a lot of firsts for me. Still not here. I hung my head and turned back to the path. Everyone was just making their way down.
あれ？ユウタどうしたの？
No. I just silently turned back to look at Lucy's house.
ああ、いた？
No. I shook my head, mumbling the same word.
なんだか体が辛そうですね。
I couldn't really sleep. Not even a wink. I said the same thing to my parents. I guess my brain was still booting up.
あ、おはよう。ルーチェは？それが、 まだ帰っていないそうです。そっか、寂しいね。けどゆうくん、ガンバだよ。きっと今日には帰ってくるはずなんだから。
Yeah, thanks, Yu-chan. We trudged along to school, our group lacking its usual energy. As we neared school, a lot of other students looked over curiously. Lucy always exuded a strong presence, and everyone immediately noticed she wasn't with us.
では、私はここで。バイバイです。おはよう。あれ、ルーチェはトイレ？
No.
あんな美人がトイレなんかしないか。ああ、つまんなかった？
Shibuyan misinterpreted my lack of response.
どうしたの？なんか今日は元気ないね。実は。
Yu-chan stepped in to explain the situation to me.
なんで？だって日曜の夜には帰ってくるって話だったでしょ？
Yeah, she did, but we weren't speaking particularly loudly, but our classmates were gathering to listen. What's up with Lucy? I could hear voices of concern. It was heartwarming knowing that she got along with our class well enough for them to worry, but...
それでなんで？理由は？
Shibuyan was becoming increasingly confused at our lack of responses.
連絡取れないの？電話とかメールとかさ。
Oh, right. She's a VIP. It's hard to contact her from the outside. I tried my best to fib, and it seemed to work moderately well.
はあ、やっぱりルーチェって相当すごい女の子だったんだな。でもさ、それはそれとして、なんで戻ってこられないんだろうね。
I don't know.
本人はああ言っていたのに、心配になってきちゃうな。
I nodded meekly. I felt the same way. My seat was next to Lucy's in class. It was impossible to ignore her presence. To make matters worse, the teacher's lecture droned on like white noise. It's not like I usually pay that much attention anyway. I rested my chin on my hand and stared longingly at the empty seat. Lunch came and my mood hadn't improved at all. I resented my healthy appetite despite my low spirits. Resented.
ああ、ルーチェがいないと、やっぱりなんか閉まらないね。
I mean, like, would you really call it a healthy appetite? I guess. But you don't even go, but you aren't a gym bro, so like...
教室がピリッとしないというか、それだけ存在感があるのかな。
It's not like he's compensating for the amount of calories he's losing from working out by eating more. He just lost a lot of blood. Yeah.
そんなにおしゃべりな方でもないのにね。むしろ自分からはそんなに喋らないけど。それで最初はちょっと近づきがたいって思われていたわけだし。でもさ、ルーチェも他のみんなもそうだけど、この4月に転校してきたんだよね。去年はいなかった。なのに今はいないとすごく不自然に感じるんだから。なんだか不思議なような話だよね。
It really is. She was absolutely right. I had forgotten about her until she appeared before me again on the night in March. One could say we'd really only known each other for less than 2 months. And in that short time, she'd become an integral part of my life. When is she coming back to me? I was gonna make the joke that I'm gonna use that as the thumbnail. I don't remember if I've already used that CG. I know I've used I know I've used a different Lucy CG before, right? With them looking like they're gonna kiss. That was the first CG that one of. I don't know if it is the first, but it's one of. But yeah, if only I could send a text or call her. I never put much stock in the fact that she was from a different world. Reality delivered a cruel wake-up call, torturing me every waking moment. Then something hit me like a ton of bricks. I'd been meeting her every day, as if it was natural, yet the truth clashed with that expectation. I met a girl from another world, and was in love with her. It was miraculous, if anything. Stand bow. Homeroom ended, and I immediately left the class. I plan on just jogging, but I unconsciously kept upping my pace to a full sprint. I knew hurrying was a futile endeavor. I couldn't sit still, though. I looked up at her house as soon as I was in front of mine, but I couldn't tell from far away. I leapt up the stairs and dashed through the gate to her door. I slammed the knocker in a panic and shouted, "Lucy! Lucy!" And there was no answer. I tried to wrench the door open to be sure, but it was locked tight. What the hell? What's going on here? I felt my body slacken in defeat. My legs didn't have the strength to hold me up, and I slid down to the ground. I leaned my back against the door and stared up into the blue sky. The dyed blue canopy slowly darkened, and night fell. My appetite never came. It no longer had healthy appetite. $5.21.
どうしたぬぼーっと入ってきて。
My dad looked up from his newspaper and furrowed his brow.
どうしたお前。まるで病人みたいな顔してるぞ。
Yeah.
じゃわからんだろう。具合でも悪いのか。
My mum came out of the kitchen overhearing our conversation. You see, I finally spilled the beans to them.
なるほど。それで昨日も眠れなかったって赤い目をしていたのね。
I nodded.
事情もわからないんじゃ。確かに心配になるな。
I forced down the breakfast they had prepared for me on the table. I had no appetite, but I didn't eat. But if I didn't eat, I wouldn't be able to function when the time came. I couldn't let that happen. When what time came? I tried to follow up that thought while I chewed on what felt and tasted like sand. What sort of time might that be? All I was doing, and all I could do at this point was wait. I couldn't even contact her from here. What could a human, possibly do? As I was walking, and even after arriving in class, I was still in silent contemplation. What can I do? I was sure at this point Lucy was being confined in her castle against her will, so I had to do something about it. But was there anything I could do? Anything I could? That's it. That's it. I know what my other was. There was something I could do, and I was sure that only I could do it. All right. It's just eat a shit ton of food. Oh, nom nom.
どうしたの？急に勢いよく食べ始めて。
think I need... wait, hang on. What's he trying to say? I think I need to something there? Get there. So it's... I think I need to get there. That works, I guess. I just put my finger in my mouth.
何
I said I think I need to get energy. Energy. Hang on. Airy. Yeah, I guess.
体力
Everyone stared at me in confusion at my sudden change in poise. Waiting wasn't going to help. I had no idea if it would work or not, but I had no choice but to try. Stand bow. And like I did yesterday, I booked it out of class once homeroom was finished. But my newfound determination was a proper start, but what could I actually do? This lack of direction felt similar to when I was training the entrancing eye. What came to mind was something extremely simple. I should just go and see her. I didn't think of it before because I was still equating going to other worlds with falling into a hole. There was a hole, and I just had to fall in. But when I talked to Lucy at the park that night, I learned that might not actually be accurate.
そんなことはこちらの人には決してできないことなの。だからそれだけでも少し変わった存在ということになるわね。
Oops. Oh, no, okay, no. It was like it was like a 1 millisecond between the pause. And I decided then that I might be the one holding the shovel. Now I remember. But I didn't have the slightest inkling that I had a shovel in my hand. I did. But I know I can do it. I tried to get my spirits high. I wandered around to nowhere in particular. Entertaining hopeful thoughts, I started muttering aloud. Fall. What'd you say? Oh, sorry, I was just talking to myself. Fall. What'd you say? Oh, sorry, I was just talking to myself. Maybe you should do this at home and not outside. I suppose wishing to fall in a hole wasn't appropriate. It was too passive. I need to believe that I could be the catalyst in this equation with every fiber of my being. But the method was beyond my grasp. I ended up just doing a meandering leap around town. Walking seemed like an outright chore, but just the thought of sitting in my room made my skin crawl, except for the fact that, let's just say, you did it a lot. You traversed the other worlds. Well, not a lot, but the times he did do it, most of the times was when he was in his room. Maybe I just waltz right into the vampire world all of a sudden if I continued down this path. I prayed that would happen. Phew. Wandering with no direction is a tiring feat. I arrived at the ocean for a short breather. The beach was deserted in the off-season, but the waves continued to ebb and flow, gradually dampening the shoreline. Seeing the permanence of such natural events made my worries seem trivial and... not for a second. Lucy took a liking to the beach, huh? In my despondent state, I recalled us playing around on the beach before. Dora came and flooded spastically, and the two of us escaped laughing all the way. We promised one another we'd swim during the season. Though surfacing thoughts obscured my vision with a thin film of wetness. Damn. I rubbed my eyes and shook my head. I had to keep it together. I pumped myself up and shot to my feet. Wandering around town, muttering to myself was something a bad man would do. I'm gonna get in that hole. I'm gonna get in. Ushio, why the fuck are you here? I'm so happy. Where the hell did you come from? He was waiting. 5:24. It's like a fucking. It's like a. It's like Bloody Mary. You say hole 3 times and he'll show up. Even on the first day, people were worried. So naturally, pandemonium descended after a week. It's been a week. I say that like I haven't fucking read the date. I wonder if Lucy's not coming back to school. Coming back to the school. No way. At least I hope she is. What the heck could have happened to her? She's never said much about it, but maybe her country's in political turmoil, and that's why she can't return. Everyone piped down when I entered the room. Many looked at me with a mix of sympathy and other feelings. It was a difficult vibe to explain. I plopped down in my chair and heaved a heavy sigh. Suffice it to say, my morale was depleted. But I could tell I was tired as well. The chatter began anew, but it was barely above a whisper this time.
うし、もうずーっと疲れた顔続けてるね。
My good looks are going to waste.
自分で言ってるし。本気でそう言ってくれる人が早く戻ってくればいいんだけどね。
It seemed like she figured it out. I hadn't hung out with them much since starting the year, but I had lunch with my 3 friends. Cheer up, Ushi. Thanks. Here, I'll give you this. What is it? A glow stick. Let's go to a concert together. It'll heal your broken heart. No. You should play an error game when you get dumped. These heroines will love me forever. I definitely didn't get dumped. Ushio, aren't I here for you? Can you not hold my hand, please? Are you guys actually trying to cheer me up here? Of course we are. I think you'd really enjoy the concert. Same here. Sheesh. Don't forget me. Let me warm up your cold heart. Please don't. What did I even keep these guys around for? Then again, I was happy that they were at least attempting to cheer me up. Attempt is a strong word. Back in the classroom after lunch, a different trio awaited me. Now is not the time. Ushio, why did Lucy not return to school? What is it with you? What is it to you? We have you pegged. No, you're not the one. You're not allowed to peg him. That's Lucy's job. I mean, what? The reason Lucy went home and won't return is because of you. Isn't that right? I swiftly walked over to them and without a word. Right? You gotta try tonight and... He fucking died. Whoa, he just hit him! This man is using violence! Just shut your goddamn mouths! Whoa, she finally snapped. Yeah, deserves them. That's what they deserve, bro. Thunk. Crack.
はい、
席についてください。ああ
This is the most amount of emotion Oishi has ever expressed throughout the entire game.
ああ、喧嘩はやめなさい。喧嘩は。
Even in Julie's route, he never expressed this much emotion. This is a revelation. I can't believe it. At long last, I delivered my wrath upon the royal guards. A group of teachers had to restrain me. I spent 5th period being scolded about fighting, and I was made to stand in the hallway as punishment during 6th period. I don't think I've had a timeout since elementary school. So sleepy. The lack of sleep for the past week put me in the sad man's crosshairs. Crosshairs. The crosshairs. I wasn't some overworked businessman, so I had never just fallen asleep standing up before. Oh, so sleepy. My head felt like a boulder, and I could barely lift it up to look ahead of me. I dozed off for a second. My knees buckled and jolted me awake before I dozed off again. Listen, surely this means he's gonna go to the other world, even though it'd be very inefficient for him to do it while he's about to fall asleep, because, well, if he falls asleep in the other world, he'll probably get ambushed by some monster or something. I went through the cycle more times than I could count. Maybe he's got some fucking Conqueror's Haki, right? It's like Luffy in Wano arc. Lucy, how can I go and see you? I'm on the verge of tears. Lucy, I want you. I need you. Nah, I was right. I thought my vision was just blurring, or I was hallucinating with daydreams. But despite the fogginess in my head, I knew it was something different. What is this? It's like... I blinked my eyes heavily. In that brief second, the storm filling my vision worsened. I looked around and realized I had been holding my breath. Here's the thing. I knew it was gonna happen eventually. I thought it was gonna happen in class. I was thinking, like, imagine he sitting in class and then he just fucking disappears. That right? He just disappears out of nowhere. Like all of the girls would know what happened, right? Maybe Yuna would know what happened as well because she's experienced this before. No one else would know. Maybe Shibuyan if Yuna told her about the spirited away stuff, and then I was gonna be like the next, and then I thought, and then the next day at the exact after like 24 hours, he just comes back in the same sitting position and everything. I inhaled oxygen as if a gag had been taken off my mouth. Where am I? This had to be the vampire world. Yes, I did it! My voice was shaking but filled with joy. All hint of drowsiness vanished without a trace. I thought it was... There's a reason I compared it to Luffy, because specifically the scene where Luffy's like conked the fuck out, and then all these guys are surrounding him, and then unconsciously he just turns on his Conqueror's Haki, and then everyone surrounding him just pass the fuck out. Right? I say that like everyone would know that scene, but barely anyone would. As much as a lot of people have seen One Piece, I can guarantee there are an equal amount of people who have either not reached Wano or didn't want to get into One Piece because it was too long. Right, so... Lucy, where's Lucy? I seemed to be in a dense forest. I looked higher and could see a large building beyond the thicket of trees. Is that the castle where Lucy lives? There were no other landmarks in sight, so I made my way to the dimly lit castle. I hadn't even taken a few steps before it started. A crumbling digging sound sent an icy dagger through my heart. I turned around. Thinking about it, I actually had no idea what kind of place the vampire world was. If this was a mountain in Japan, I only needed to be on the lookout for bears and snakes. What the heck is this sound? My blood was running cold at the mysterious sound. I looked in all directions in my panic building, and I saw something unbelievable. Huh? I thought it was a severed head, and its mere presence turned my legs into jello. Creepy. Red baby. Tearing through the ground, the creature forced its way out, gradually exposing its body. Was I witnessing the miracle of life in this world? No, I made the joke of it being a baby. You can't do that. No, this was a miracle. This was a miracle's antithesis.
平たく言うと怪物よ。化粧は大地から生まれるの。大地を流れるエネルギーは時に滞って、その目詰まりが限界まで達すると外に吐き出される。その排出されたエネルギーが形をとったのが化粧。
Shit. That was a loud S sound. I turned away and sprinted in the other direction. I carefully turned around to look. Go! It was chasing me. I knew I was running for my life. My sleep-deprived body was a deadly albatross. What does that mean? The sound of grunting and footsteps was hot on my heels, and I couldn't shake it. Its intentions were unknown, but I certainly didn't want to wait to find out. Oh, wait a minute. My rational side knew this was the time to finally harness my entrancing eye, but my feet couldn't stop. This was leagues above just some town delinquents. Curling up into a fetal position, or waiting for the police wouldn't work. Oh, what should I do? Just then, I heard a stampede of footsteps ahead of me, and fear gripped my stomach like a cold vice. Was I trapped in a pincer attack? The trees were so dense around me that I knew I would be boxed in if I veered from this path. Dang, I have to move forward. I charged ahead to meet the approaching footsteps. Huh? Wait, is that... Lucy? What? Are you okay? I ran over to help. Lucy! She flew into my arms in tearful relief. I felt like I was forgetting something crucial, but the girl I loved was in my arms. Nothing in this world or any other could have bothered me. I cracked my head and spun around defensively. The demi creature ran in a sporadic pattern before turning red and dashing off into the forest. You saved me, Lucy.
安心するのはまだ早いわよ。
Huh? Lucy gave me a stern look before turning around. I noticed a unit of armored men dashing toward us. Who are these guys?
城の衛兵よ。
The guards split into two sides to open up the path. For a second, I hoped they were letting us through, but of course, that was a naive thought.
おや、お前は牛を言うた。 証拠りもなく我が吸血鬼界まで。
For the second time. Dad. Don't call him that.
世のことをお父さんなどと呼ぶんじゃない。虫ずが走る。
Maybe it's Greaseball's voice actor. Sorry.
陛下、あまり興奮されてはお体に触りまする。
いや、少し血圧が上がっただけだ。
It was my first time in a while seeing Dora as well. You were being held in the castle?
そう。
軟禁だと人聞きの悪いことを言うんじゃない。
何を怒っているのよ。事実でしょ。
ルーチェちゃん、あれはお前を閉じ込めるとかではなくてさ、パパの気持ちはわかるだろう。
そんなのわからないわね。実際、実の娘を軟禁だなんてちょっと非道なんじゃないかしらね。あまりひどいことを続けるとさすがの私も嫌いになってしまうかもしれないわよ。お父さん。
Oops. I was on the last word too.
あまりひどいことを続けるとさすがの私も嫌いになってしまうかもしれないわよ。お父様のことを。
The koto isn't another word. Knowing his attachment to his daughter, those words were like a lance thrust deep into his heart.
いやいや、あれは軟禁なんかじゃなくてだね。そもそもお前のためを思えばこそやったことじゃないか。
何よそれは。聞いて呆れるわね。
一時
He shouted and raised his index finger.
仮に万一、ひょっとしてもしかして一時は娘から嫌われるようなことがあったとしてもだ。後からルーチェちゃんはきっと気がつくのだよ。ああ、やっぱりパパの言うことが正しかったのねと。そしてさらにこう思うのだ。パパの言う通りにしていれば万事うまくいくのね。パパ大好きと。
はあ、うっとうしい。
ひどい。
今回はどうも引かないみたいなのよ、この人。
ちょっとルチェちゃん、最愛のパパをこの人呼ばわりはないんじゃないかな。
ちゃんをつけないで。
He was sensitive, that was for sure. But why? Why was he keeping you? Lucy shrugged before I could finish. It didn't seem like he was so overjoyed at her return that he wanted to keep her.
御所様がご心配なされるのも至極もっともなことではあるのでございます。
Dora, what do you mean by worries?
ルーチェお嬢様はこちらに戻られてすぐ体調を崩されたのです。
Illness.
それで大騒ぎになりましてな。ただの風邪なのに大げさなのよ。
いいな。あれは風邪などではなかっただろう。ジーも言っていたことだ。原因不明の症状だと。
I don't know, maybe it's like fucking Amani in maybe it's like what happened to Amani in Angelic Chaos. She drank too much blood.
それが何よ。とにかく一日休んだらすっかり元気になったじゃない。
しかし
私としては夫から引き離されて軟禁されている方がよ
おっとって誰のことかな。
I think I did it again. Where I pressed the space bar right after she finished.
私としては夫から引き離されて軟禁されている方がよーっぽど体に悪いわね。
No, never mind.
今私の隣にいる男性に決まってるでしょ。
She had a lot to say before. She had a lot to say before I skipped. Whoa, yeah, that's quite the frightening face. Seeing that face made it clear that he was much more than just a softie at heart.
しかしだね。経験豊富の G でさえこんな症状は初めて見ると明言したであれば、あちらの水だか空気だかが悪い影響を与えたのだとそう判断するのが妥当でしょう。だからパパはもう心配でその親心どうして分かってくれないのかな。
お父様、あなたの娘はおかげさまで自立したのよ。だから
She spoke in a gentle tone.
いやそんなことないんだ。僕の後ろをよちよち歩いてきたあの頃のルーチェちゃんが忘れられない。
こちらはとうに忘れてるわよ。
ひどい。
Was this within the normal realm of parental love, or was it excessive? But I was more curious about something else. So you were ill? How so?
丸1日ほどこんこんと眠り続けたのでございます。城はもうてんやわんやの上を下へのお騒ぎでございました。
A coma, huh? Like a food coma, if you will? Because she drank so much blood the whole day. And that was certainly concerning. I see. So that's why he was being so adamant.
だから仮にお父様の心配が的を射ているとしても、戻ってみればわかることじゃない。それで本当に水か空気が合わないのであれば通い婚という手もある。あと可能であればユータにこちらに移住してもらっても。
I mean, true, but like, very dangerous.
何を言うのかな。こんな馬の骨に我が領土を踏ませるわけがないじゃないか。
I mean, like, maybe after he's able to consistently activate his entrancing eye or whatever the fuck he has, then maybe I'll consider it.
お父様の都合は聞いていないわよ。
But only if, you know, I'm fine either way, as long as I can be with you.
ユータ。
Oh no, he's dead. Oh well, time to go home, Lucy. Your other home. Gasparo fell to the ground head first. Everyone was shocked at the suddenness.
それだよ。結局ルーチェちゃんはそれなんだな。
He's fucking prostrating.
たとえ短時間だとしても息を止めていられるわけもない。毒にはどうしたってさらされるわけだ。かくなる上は。
He has that look again.
ユータ、貴様がルーチェを諦めるのだ。
I can't do that.
そう答えると思ったよ。ああ、思ったさ。だが、その威勢もどこまで続くかな。者ども、この男を痛めつけてやれ。
All of them? Bro, do your own fucking job. What do you...
お父様陛下、 し力に訴えるのはいかがなものかと存じまする。
No, don't stop him. This is a good thing. Yuta. This'll make him activate his powers? I don't know.
どうらよ。これも可愛い娘を思えばこそなのだ。止めるな。
お父様、そんなことをしたら私本気で嫌いになるわよ。
それがどうしたというのだ。さっきも言ったでしょう。後で世の正しさがわかるのだと。
Okay, I was gonna say that the shtick wouldn't work out anymore, but he's just in denial. I thought he, you know, I was gonna say grow some balls, but he's still acting very immature for a parent. Especially compared to the other parents in this series game. There's only one game. Gah. He was dead serious.
ユータ、逃げて。
I shook my head from side to side. Running was simply not an option. I had to do whatever it took to get him to recognize me as her husband. The oncoming guards came to an abrupt halt.
ルーチェ、いくらお前の魔眼が強力でも、これだけの数を支配下に置くことはできないだろう。やれ。
At his command, the whole pack came at me like wolves. I managed to dodge the first few blows, and even tried to counter. Gah. They surrounded me and struck from all directions. Evading any longer was impossible. I tried to erect an impenetrable defense and endure, but a direct kick to the gut sent me flying back. I couldn't breathe. My chest heaved up and down, and desperately yearning for air.
そのくらいでいいだろ
Swift footsteps through the grass drew nearer.
う。どうだ、ユータ。諦めると一言言えば、その苦痛から解放してやる。
I shook my head.
強情なことだ。では、ルーチェでもいい。そもそも世は、お前の人間界行きには反対だった。それで原因不明の病に侵されたとあっては、なおさらのことだ。だからもう諦めることだ。そうすれば、ユータはすぐにでも解放しよう。言えないなら、首を縦に振るだけでもいい。ルーチェ。
I finally found my breath. No. Energy welled up inside me, and I resisted with all my might. It was only in my head. It was only in my head, as what actually came out was just a stifled moan.
ユータ、
No transition, no fucking, no fade in, fade out. That's a transition. He just very abruptly shifts to the CG. You think I'd let you make her do that? And then it shifts out of it almost as abruptly.
これは一体。
体が動かない。
See what I said? What I say? This is a good thing for him. Lucy is mine. I won't hand her over to anyone, not even her father.
これはどうしたことだ。体が動かん。
Damn, that's crazy. No wonder you got your guards to do your job for you. You're meant to be the vampire king. You're being controlled by a high schooler, bro.
どうだ、お前はどうだ。
我が輩もでございます、ご所様。
者ども。
Gasparo shouted in desperation, but the pack of guards seemed frozen in place.
これよお父様、これがユータの力。
Were the red eyes not a clear giveaway, or did you not remember what his eyes looked like? Because he's a... the joke doesn't even work because we've seen his eyes multiple times.
何？
As if free from a spell binding her, Lucy dashed over to my side.
大丈夫？
Yeah, it's nothing.
最初に言った話よ。まさか忘れたとは言わせないわよ。ユータの力が本当なら結婚も認めるとそう言明したでしょ。
まさか本当のことだったとは。
私が嘘をつくはずがないわ。
Did I really do it? It was an unconscious action, so it was a strange feeling. Yet everyone before me was unable to move. It was as if they were all under my control.
大丈夫？立てる？
Yeah, I'm fine. She held onto my shoulder as I climbed to my feet.
では改めて確認よお父様。これでもう今後一切異を唱えないわね。
わかった。
Gasparo acquiesced more easily than I anticipated.
要は吸血鬼の帝王。それが人間の小僧相手に醜態を晒した。などあってはならぬことだ。
Just don't make this public and you'll be fine.
なれば、ユータは単なる小僧などではなかった。そう認めざるを得まい。実際信じられん。よう含めこの人数を。
だから私をもしのぐ力を持っていたとそう言ったでしょ。
よし。では言うたよ。よう殴れ。
あ？
先ほどお前を痛めつけたことのそれが返礼だ。それで水に流すとしようではないか。
I don't think that's necessary.
つべこべ言うな。さあ殴れ。殴るのだ。
Okay. Clunk.
本気で殴るやつがあるか。
What are you fucking talking about? You got the guards to beat the shit out of him. What do you mean? Just because his power is activated because of it doesn't mean you're forgiven for it. He was certainly a handful. Lucy put her arm around me and turned back to Gasparo.
ではお父様、私はまたあちらへ戻るわよ。
だがルーチェ、夢忘れるな。人間界での生活はお前に思いもよらない影響を与える可能性があるということを。
わかったわよ。そういえば先にユータが言ってくれないと私も移動できないわね。
But I don't exactly know how.
ああ、けど体が透けてきたわよ。
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. You're the one who's starting to fade. I was wrong about that. It wasn't only Lucy fading. It was everyone before me. I saw Lucy's mouth moving, but I couldn't make out any sounds.
呪縛が解けたか。するとやはり。
じゃあ私も行くわよ。
My eyes.
しかし、どうにも信じられんな。このような力が本当にあり得るのだろうか。
Yes, And I hope that we spend the rest of the I hope we spend the rest of the route figuring out why he's able to use that power, and how it's how it's even stronger than Lucy, who's been able to use her powers since she was a kid, and Gasparo, who's meant to be king of the vampires. Right?
我が身で体験してなお信じがたい。